Hi, host Derek here, host of Talking with Famous People. And today, I would like to talk to you about the complicated and challenging mechanics of making. Framework of making. The complicated and challenging framework of making. What do I mean by that? Well, to frame something obviously means to position it such that you understand it through a certain lens. In debate, your framework is going to basically tell the judge what sort of impacts he should consider most important in the round. And sometimes you'll have disparate kind of impacts. Well, it hurts your health, but it makes us richer. Something like that. And so the framework explains how do we define the terms implicit in making any statements at all about the topic. So what I'm saying, the complicated and challenging framework of making, what I'm saying is this. For an extroverted person in general, you're going to want to be putting, right? I want to put a lot of stuff out of my mouth or out of my hands or out of my whatever kind of extroverted person I am. I want to put. Introverted people in general are a lot more comfortable getting. But the problem is that as a society, we have failed to produce a set of social rules that is coordinated with the realities that people are vastly different types and should adhere to different social mores as a consequence. So, well, it's perfectly reasonable to say that all types who make and put stuff up there need to carry along with them the weight of that which they create, which is to say, if I'm putting up a bunch of stuff that says, we need to keep Mexicans out of this country, freaking like Trump shit or whatever, and then at some point later down the road, people start calling bullshit on it, well, I'm gonna have to be accountable for that, I'm gonna have to say either I'm gonna have to continue to argue the point, or I'm gonna have to concede I was wrong. And if I do continue to argue the point, it's a really difficult point to argue, even for the best arguer in the world, that there's not some reason to be offended by the lack of egalitarian spirit in those kind of arguments, So, what I'm saying is, when we make things and put them out there, we know from reference like the one I just referenced that with public figures, there's definitely an accountability factor to consider when putting stuff out there, and that's why they're so careful, and that's why they have these public relations firms and stuff. We have been trained to be very careful in general, that it is better to err on the side of not making the social mistake than to have the growth experience of perhaps putting something out there and having it not work very well, or putting something out there and having it roundly ignored, which is, I think, an excellent experience for any maker to have. I think that describes me for all of my entire life as a maker, including now, basically. Like, I'm super, super stoked that I'm not completely ignored, right? There's actually, like, some people who seem to probably watch my videos regularly because they like them, So that's just astonishing. And what I'm saying about the maker thing is, one has to manage one's identity multi-architecture relationships very carefully, insofar as we know that when people come to consume something that we've made, they do so for any number of possible reasons coming in. Could be an accident that they clicked on the wrong video. Could be they searched up a term that they mean in a different way than you mean it, and they think you're going to talk about lazy children, but you're really talking about recliners. Okay, it's like a lazy boy instead of a lazy boy, you know. So they basically put a mistake. It could be that they're actually a subscriber who is this sort of like dream subscriber that probably every YouTuber who is a regular producer of media would love to have. This person who maybe even just barks and you don't even know they're there, but you'd like to probably know, I guess, but that they're just, you sit there and watch all your videos over and over again or something. You know, maybe there's even somebody like that who's watching everything. But the point is, as the maker, we have no way of knowing, no way of controlling. We should ideally have no desire to control any of that stuff. And this is one of the central messages I'm trying to get across in this video to anybody who might be considering making YouTube videos or whatever other medium you like better. YouTube, though, has a really nice distribution model. It's fair. It lets you compete equally against other video makers. It does seem to, I would say, reward frequency somewhat. I'm not sure about that, though. It's remarkably, I can predict things pretty well now based on topic and title, if there's going to be any interest in it at all. Some stuff just doesn't really have any interest at all, and that's totally fine, and I get it. This is part of the same message. Don't be attached to any individual thing I put up there. I remind myself of that because I know that when I do that, I am missing the point. I'm missing the point. The point is the process. It's not whatever desired conclusion I might have. This fucking road, I tell you, man. Come on, Caltrans, fix this thing when I'm not around. It's just nothing but fucking potholes right here. Caltrans. More like Cal fans. Because instead of facing the road, they just admire it. They're Cal fans. I mean, they're people who enjoy watching the dirty Golden Bears at the University of California, Berkeley. For the football. No. Let's not get off topic here. What are we doing here? Oh yeah, that. What was it again? Right. Making metaphysics, basically. So, I would advocate a few basic, I guess, suggestions here, which is 1, don't get attached to any particular video. 2, put up a bunch of shit. 3, allow yourself at least a stretch at the beginning where you just put up tons of videos about you just rambling without even editing them or thinking about it, and don't even necessarily make it public if you don't want to. If you're worried about that stuff, I would say do make it public though, because that's the whole point. If you don't have an audience, what's the point? And I'd say make it public. I'd say tag them out, tag them, describe them, title them. Try to title them snappy. Try to do custom thumbnails. When I first started, I didn't do any of that shit though. I mean, just do whatever seems easy and fun and like cool-ish, like not. It's just comfortable. Do whatever seems easy and fun and comfortable, you know? Because here's the thing. I know you don't want any unsolicited advice from me about what you ought to do with your time and what you ought to be making and anything like that. Certainly you do not. But I also know this. I know the phenomenon of completed work that stays done. And I know the phenomenon well of returning to old work that I still can access thanks to a variety of things sometimes, and being able to experience the satisfaction of seen a life spelled out in time objects, having satisfaction in being able to reference where I was creatively and stuff in the past. Sometimes it's very cringeworthy, sometimes not so much at all, and sometimes I'm quite thrilled with it. I think my very best stuff is old, and sometimes I think some of my very best stuff is new, and I want to tend to, like a gardener who's planting an estate over time. I want to continue tending to the old things. I want those to have the dignity of longevity that YouTube affords in a way that other things don't afford, which is because of a lot of different reasons. The YouTube model means that your time object continues to gain value on at least one or two vectors, even as it gets older and older and less relevant, so to speak. And relevant, I know, is not necessarily a vector for every kind of media that one might produce. Obviously, if you're doing stuff on the news right now, you'd be less likely to maintain relevance in terms of likely to be of interest to people now. However, that's the nice thing about the long tail cumulative aspect of YouTube, is that it doesn't require relevance for you to produce attention for yourself via the watching of your videos. I mean by that it's got that long tail benefit. It's not just sitting there. It's still occasionally touching someone's eye briefly as they recommend a video, maybe as a search result, something like that. And when that occurs, there's a minuscule chance that that person will click that and watch it and like it and become a subscriber. I mean, the liking it, not necessarily officially like it, but I mean, you know, enjoy it, I guess. Which would seem to be a prerequisite to becoming a subscriber. So, yeah, okay, it's a minuscule chance. Oh, that's discouraging. No, it's not. It's encouraging. The law of large numbers tells us if you upload enough videos about enough disparate subjects and tag them honestly. Now, granted, I kind of moved away from this plan as I realized that people are, you've got a certain number of topic areas that large amounts of people want to see videos about, and a certain number of topic areas that a very small amount of people want to see videos about. So when I make a video about the distinction between act consequentialism and regular utilitarianism or something, not very many people Google that or want to watch that, or they don't have a need for that information. It's not relevant to them directly. Personality type stuff is relevant to people directly because you're talking about something we all share, which is one of a few perspectives that allow us to understand why we manifest as such different people, even though we're all human beings. So that's the end of this story. I hope you guys want to make movies too, and I hope you put them up on YouTube. And if you do, and you want to collaborate with me, then all you've got to do is contact me via a comment on this video. I will respond. For example, I want to give Melissa a beat for her to rap over. I will make one when I get around to it. Unfortunately, I'm quite busy making all these little videos. It's kind of eating up my time for other media. And that's a shame because I like rock and roll very much. Yes, I do. I do. But I'm not entirely giving up on other media. It's gonna be 15 minutes. Yeah, she's talking. It's at the end.